Hey guys, Dale Bateman here. On today's episode of Build Your Success Online, I'm going to talk to you some more about network marketing success. And I've got a question for you. Are you following an impossible dream? Stay tuned to find out more. So what do I mean about following an impossible dream? Well, I've got two different examples of situations or types of people, if you will, that I want to tell you about, that these folks basically are never going to find their dream. They're never going to achieve what they want to achieve in life because they're doing it in the wrong way. I'll tell you about them in a moment, but first I want to share with you a few quotes from some very famous people. And I want you to see the comparison that they have in dealing with and talking about their dreams. Okay, so I'll just read these off to you just quickly. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Eleanor Roosevelt. Here's another one. I dream my painting, and then I paint my dream. Vincent van Gogh. And one more for you. Dream as if you'll live forever. Live as if you'll die today. And that was from James Dean. So what do these people all have in common? Sure, they're all dreamers. We can see that by their quotes and by their actions in their lives. But that's the other thing that's a key about them. They're not just dreamers, they're doers. These people did what they said they were going to do. They talked the talk, but then they walked the walk. Now there's a big difference between people who are just dreamers and people who are actually doers. Now, I want to get to those two types of people for you, and I hope that you aren't going to be trapped in one of these situations. So the first off, I want to talk to you about what's called the big scam. Okay? Now, I want to read this off to you, and I want you to take warning of this, okay? Warning. Please share this. There's a big scam going around the world that nearly everyone has fallen for. It's a program where you work for someone else for 40 hours a week for a total of 40 years. All the time, you're believing that you'll be well looked after when your 40 years are up. Now, what actually happens when you retire? You get an $80 gold watch, if you're lucky, and then you try to live on about 16% of the money you couldn't live on when you were working 40 hours a week. Warn your friends and your family. Don't let them fall for this. Now, guys, what am I talking about? That's right. I'm talking about working for a job, which you can call a job if you like, but I refer to it as just over broke. Because that's the way people are living when they're working for someone else. When they're having someone else tell them when to take their break, when to eat their lunch, when they can go on vacation, or worst of all, how much they're worth. Okay, people equate their worth, and it's really unfortunate, people equate their worth based on the number on their paycheck every 2 weeks. And that's really sad, because people who have a dream and who are a doer, they have the potential to earn so much more just by getting involved with a profitable MLM or network marketing business online. Now, I'm not going to pitch to you here. You know the stats. You know how people are doing in these businesses, and they speak for themselves. But I want to tell you another story right now. Last week, I was fortunate enough to accompany my daughter. She's looking into colleges and universities that she wants to potentially go to next year. So we went on a couple of tours. And while I was on a tour with my daughter and this young pimple-faced tour guide who was leading us around, I thought to myself, I looked around and I thought to myself, boy, I thought back to my college days myself and how it was just sort of the norm where you come out of high school, you go to college, you learn a trade, and then you work at that trade for the next 40 years. You retire, and that's it. Okay, you enjoy your retirement, hopefully. Well, that's not the case. And it's a real tough situation, especially for students today. Number one, they're ending up coming out of college with an average debt of about $35,000. Now, how would you like to be starting your career with a debt of 35 grand? Okay, now this is, of course, due to tuition fees, credit cards, loans from family members, whatever it might be. These kids are in a rough spot right off the bat, and to add insult to injury, there's no such thing anymore, and you can all attest to this, there's no such thing anymore as a quote-unquote secure job that exists anymore. Okay? The only real security, and when I'm talking security, I mean job security, income security, is when you work for yourself. When you follow your dream, you become a doer, and you make it happen for yourself. Nobody else is going to take care of you like you are. Okay? Another little stat for you, unfortunate stat on the college graduates, is there's less than half of them end up in a job that is related in some way to the schooling that they went through 4 years of college for. So not only are they ending up with $35,000 plus in debt, but they're ending up in a dead-end job working for someone else, and it's not even in the field that they studied and spent that 35 grand learning to do. Talk about frustrating. Anyway, let's move on to the second type of person. I call these people the gamblers, and there's a good reason for that, because they put all of their faith in trying to lead and live the life of their dreams. They put all that faith into a little piece of paper with some numbers printed on it. Yes, I'm talking about a lottery ticket. Now, back at my job, my just over broke, there's a group of people that continually put in a few dollars a week into a pool, and they go out and they buy these lottery tickets. Now, they've never won much of anything. They've won maybe a free ticket now and then, if anything at all. And actually, if you're watching this video on my blog, I've got a very cool infographic that shows just how astronomical the chances are of even winning any of these lotteries. So make sure you check that out. But the thing is, there's a fact that they've proven. There have been several universities that have done studies on people who have had big winnings in, say, the big Powerball lottery. And in as little as 5 years after their win, they're actually declaring bankruptcy. Now, there's a very good reason for this. You see, these people didn't earn that money. Okay, they didn't work for it. It was just handed to them in exchange for that little piece of paper with the numbers printed on it. Those lucky numbers, as they call them. So if you don't earn the money yourself, you don't learn to appreciate it. You don't learn to respect it. Okay? It just is almost like a big bowl of candy that you think, oh, I can have a handful and it's not going to go down that much. And then you have another handful and you think, oh, there's lots there still. And you grab another handful. Because unfortunately, our idea about how much we have is based on what we currently have in front of us. It's not based on what we need, okay? It's based on what we can see in front of us, okay? I've got a cool experiment you can try with a big bowl of candy, and that's on the blog as well. So make sure you check that out and try it out. It's cool because you get to eat some candy while you're doing it, but it shows you that the way that these people who win these big lotteries actually end up going bankrupt. Okay, they call them riches to rags stories. Now, the difference with people who are actually dreamers and doers is that these people are going out, they're working hard every day. Maybe it's an MLM business, maybe it's a network marketing business, maybe it's some other kind of business. Anyway, they are self-made. They have earned their money gradually over time. Maybe it's come in a big wad all at once, but that's fine. They've still earned it. They've still worked hard to get that money. Now, if something unforeseen happens with these self-made millionaires and they all of a sudden lose all their money, which has happened the odd time, it's not uncommon for them to come back again and make as much, if not more money after that and shortly after that. Unlike the lottery winners, the gamblers who just keep taking until there's nothing left. They're not experienced, they haven't earned it, so they don't know how to respect that money. All right, guys, so those are your two types of people. I hope that you aren't going to fall into the trap of being sucked in by the big scam, working that job for 40 years, making someone else rich, and having them tell you how much you're worth. And I also hope you're not one of the people who puts their faith in a lottery ticket, because it's just blind faith is all it is. So turn yourself from a dreamer into a doer, okay? Don't just dream your future, do your future. Until next time, guys, my name is Dale Bateman, and I'm wishing you a fantastic day. Bye for now.